In this video, we're going to be exploring the first sneak peek of the next Clash of Clans update. What's going on, my friends from Clash? My name is Joe, and welcome back to the show. Let's go ahead and get things started with some information that we revealed a few weeks back regarding the levels of Town Hall weapons. So it looks like Clash of Clans is going to be removing the Town Hall weapon levels for Town Hall 12, 13, 14, and 15, and the weapon itself will remain exactly how you know it. The only major difference here is that when you upgrade from Town Hall 11 to 12 or 12 to 13, etc., the weapon will automatically be level 1, but it will look like the previously known level 5 building and weapon level stats. I hope that makes sense, but basically the game's removing all those additional levels because it was a bottleneck to players that didn't want to go through the hassle of upgrading the Town Hall 4 additional times after they got to that level, which makes sense, of course, because Town Hall 16 is only one upgrade and then you do everything else. Also, if you have a Town Hall weapon upgrade in progress, when this update goes live, it will be canceled with no resources being refunded. So make sure that if you have a Town Hall weapon upgrading as you're watching this video, go ahead and go to the game real fast and cancel that to get back some of your resources because it's going to be automatically canceled when this update goes live. Next, we have the rework to the spring trap. The spring traps will be reworked in this update, introducing some new defensive mechanics. The spring trap will now pick the highest housing space troop in its damage radius and applies one of the following to that single troop. If the troop is lower or equal to the spring's capacity, it will eject the troop. So very similar to how the springs work in the live version of the game that you're currently playing. If the unit has a higher housing space to the spring's capacity, it will throw the troop in the air and apply high damage. If the unit is a hero, the spring will toss the hero and half damage will be dealt. Springs will also deal half damage to siege machines who roll over them, but based on the testing that I was doing earlier today, they do not toss the siege machine like the heroes or the heavyweight units. If a troop is killed by the trap, the unit will be ejected, even if it's a P.E.K.K.A. This new spring trap rework will also apply to the builder-based spring traps, so keep that in mind. They're going to work the same way across the water. In this update, there will also be 7 new levels of spring trap introduced, starting with level 6 at Town Hall 11 and a new level of spring trap available at each Town Hall up to Town Hall 17. Each level of spring trap increases the amount of damage the spring will deal when activated. So as you upgrade the spring trap, the capacity will remain the same for level 5 and above, but the amount of damage that's dealt by the spring will increase. There's also going to be a few noticeable balancing changes applied in this update, starting with Diggy now being able to stun his target upon surfacing, regardless of whether or not the target is a defensive building. This means that Diggy can now stun defending heroes and clan castle troops, which might come in useful if you're using that pet. Heroic torch movement speed increase now applies to the Grand Warden, and the defensive furnace now does a bit less damage so that one maxed out fire mite doesn't kill a maxed out healer anymore. So that might reduce the effectiveness of a furnace in the defending clan castle. Then we have a list of notable generalized game improvements, such as equipment in the hero hall are now sorted with all commons in order of the blacksmith unlock order, and equipment will no longer rearrange based on level. So basically they're just trying to clean up the blacksmith a little bit for those of you to understand it who might be relatively new to the game. Clashmas trees will now say what year they're from. This is something that probably should have been added years ago, but it's finally here now. And then there will be a long list of hero skins, hero equipment, and decor added as potential prizes in future chess events such as the Dragon Champion, Space Queen, Egyptian Warden, Football Royal Champion, Wild West Warden, Clash Games King, Anime Champion, Dark Minion Queen, the Snake Bracelet, Action Figure, Dark Crown, and the Heroic Torch, just to name a few. There's also a long list of decor, but we're going to go ahead and skip over those. With the release of this game version update, I must also make you aware that Clash of Clans will no longer operate on the following mobile platforms. The Amazon App Store is out. It's a complete withdrawal for Clash of Clans. iOS 14 and below, and Android 6 and below. So that's very unfortunate for those players out there that have older devices, but just be aware that that might be why the game's no longer working for you. We also have a long list of cost and time reductions being applied to various buildings in the game. This happens every single year about this time frame, so it's not surprising that it's coming back around. However, the biggest change here is that 5 levels of the Barbarian King, Archer Queen, and Grand Warden will be shifted from Town Hall 15 down to Town Hall 14, meaning that instead of a max level of 80, 80, 55 at Town Hall 14, these heroes will now max out at level 85, 85, and 60 at Town Hall 14 once this update's applied. And basically the reason for this change is that they're trying to shift the amount of levels to make it a little bit more realistic, because they're going to be adding new Town Hall levels in the future, of course. Then we have changes to the loot bonus. This one's actually quite interesting. So in the current version of Clash of Clans, if you attack a base in multiplayer battles that is lower level than you, there is a loot penalty. A lot of you that are more experienced know this, and then some of you might not. However, in this update, Clash will be implementing changes to this system that provide a multiplier to loot available if you attack a level higher than yourself. So 1 level higher offers 120%, 2 levels higher, 150%, 3 levels higher than yourself, 175%, and 4 levels or more offering 200% loot available. So basically, you are being rewarded for attacking higher level town halls in the loot system. And lastly, we have big changes coming for the Village Shield system. According to the Clash team, they aim to make the game's shield mechanics more understandable, remove friction when starting a multiplayer battle, and re-enable the revenge feature. You know, that button that's been pretty much obsolete for the last 10 years for most players. First up, the Village Guard is being removed from the game, originally serving as a post-shield extension which encouraged continuous play of removing the risk of immediate attack after the village shield ran out. This is one of those features that was introduced 10 years ago that basically rendered the revenge button inoperable. Change number 2 is a rework of the Village Shield. In the current system, shields prevent attacks from others, and the length of that shield is reduced when you initiate a multiplayer attack. In this update though, Clash of Clans will be introducing the Magic Shield, which prevents your resources from being stolen by others during attacks. Basically, when a Magic Shield is active, your base shows up in the pool of multiplayer matchmaking as a shadow base, and the loot scene is generated by the game's loot economy. I hope that's not too confusing, because it's a little confusing to me as well. Villages under an 8-hour Magic Shield will not be penalized by you attacking for loot, and they do not affect ranked or Legend League battles, which we'll explore in the next update. An 8-hour Magic Shield will be awarded when more than 30% of your loot is stolen. The shield's duration will be 8 hours regardless of your league. So basically, to simplify, this new shield system is focused around the protection of the resources on your village and has nothing to do with the new trophy system. Also, additional Magic Shields will be offered in the shop just like the current versions of the shield. Now, with the introduction of the Magic Shield, the revenge button will also become operable by allowing you to reclaim the resources you might have lost by the attacker. Revenges will be possible when the attacker took more than 30% of the available loot on your base. A shadow base is generated for every revenge attack, regardless of the target's Magic Shield's status, meaning that you'll have the chance to attack them and steal your loot back. After a defense, you will have up to 12 hours to avenge the attack. Revenge attacks will also allow you to claim event currencies, chests, league bonuses, and stars towards the star bonus. So overall, these changes are intended to clean up a system that's been a little outdated now and really focus more in on protection of the resources on your villages, and also give you a chance to claim those resources back when they're taken. But let us know down in the comments below what you think about these changes, and we'll see you in the next sneak peek, boys.